Welcome to Joshua's Movie Reviews and More. Now, what you might be thinking after 2 videos is, what's the more part? Well, we'll get to that in a moment. And yes, I'm using notes. But the main question I have is, what do you like about movies? Me personally, I like an adventure, which is what we're going to get to in a little bit. What I have to say right now is that you have to forgive me. I just got a new job. I've been at it for 3 weeks. The schedule's tight. It's a very physically demanding job. So the bad news is I have not gone to a theater to actually watch a movie. What I'm going to be reviewing today is a Netflix original called How It Ends. Now, How It Ends has Theo James, who plays Will. He's actually an attorney, and you know him from the Divergent series and also from the Underworld actually this Underworld Awakening and Underworld Blood Wars. Now, he plays an attorney. He's kind of, I don't know, I like Theo James. I like him, especially in the Divergent series. Now, Divergent series is the best films I've ever seen, but what makes Theo James good is that he kicks people around, he shoots guns, and all. You know, he is the muscle behind it, and he's proven himself that he can act that role and everything. So what I don't understand with a disaster film is that they make Theo James, who's proven himself as an action film type person, they make him an attorney who's never fired a gun or anything like that. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Also, you have Forrest Whitaker. Now, Forrest Whitaker, I love him. He's I'll go through a few of them. Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Platoon, Good Morning Vietnam, Bloodsport, Phenomenon, Panic Room, Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. I mean, that's just to name a few. Forrest Whitaker is a phenomenal actor, but the problem is he plays basically Theo James, his fiance's father. And at the beginning of the film, I won't go into too much detail, but Will goes cross country to do a deal, something like that. Doesn't really go much into it, but he visits his fiance's family, namely his father, her father, and her mother. Now, I'm not going to go who plays the mother because she's only in a few minutes of the movie, but there's a lot of tension, a lot of static, and because Forrest Whitaker plays an Army veteran, very well distinguished, which is where the action comes in, because Forrest Whitaker knows how to use guns and all this kind of stuff. It's absolutely fantastic. But why the friction in the first place? You already have an ending world scenario. You already have the country just going absolutely chaos. So why the added drama? You know, they could have been besties or something like that. It's like, hey, good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. All this kind of stuff. And, hey, cast Theo James as an attorney. Great. But why couldn't he have been an attorney who plays paintball or goes to the shooting range or something like that to blow off some steam? I don't know. Just doesn't make much sense to me. And also, you have Kat Graham, who plays Sam. That is Will's fiance. You mainly know her from the Vampire Diaries. Now, granted, it seems like Theo James and Forrest Whitaker, while I love both of them, it seems like they kind of just move through the paces of their characters. While Kat Graham, she actually plays a good part. You know, she looks scared when she needs to be scared. She looks happy when she needs to be happy, and all this kind of stuff. She does a great job. Forrest Whitaker and Theo James, it just seems like they're going through the paces. And plus, a lot of not is explained in the film. And there's a big, huge mistake, at least I see it. I know There is a major disaster on the West Coast. Power goes out on the East Coast, and they travel across country to go rescue Sam, who's still on the West Coast. And people are looting and rioting and all this kind of stuff. Now, I get it. Something major catastrophe happens. People are going to loot and riot and everything like that. But they're not looting and rioting in major cities where the film takes place. They're looting and rioting in the middle of nowhere. Because apparently they're running out of supplies or something like that. I don't know. Now, I don't know about you, but I have enough canned goods and dry goods and all this kind of stuff to at least last a week. And it takes 2 days if you're really hauling to go across country. I know for a fact because I was stationed in Florida and I got transferred to California. Now, when we first went across country, we kind of took our time. It took us 5 days. Then later on, we went on vacation. We wanted to get to Georgia as fast as humanly possible. It took us 2. So, now granted in the movie, they have some car trouble, you know, a little bit of drama here and there. So, 3 days, 4 days max, it takes them to get across country. 3 or 4 days, yes. There might be looting and rioting in major cities, but there's not going to be looting and rioting in the middle of nowhere. I mean, come on. It kind of gets the portrayal of a prequel to, like, Mad Max or something like that. Doesn't make much sense. But I guess you had to have some drama, otherwise it wouldn't be a good, wouldn't be a film. But, and what's even worse is at the end of it, nothing's explained. I mean, you see this big... It's nothing. Now, a very intelligent lady said, well, this is probably the makings of a series, or at least a sequel, which I hope so, because at least hopefully something's explained and everything's great, but I don't know. Hope she's right. Now, the second one I like to go over is Dark Crystal. Now, as I said, I was going to review some older movies to kind of get, if you're a younger generation, to open your eyes to older movies. Dark Crystal is one of my personal favorites, especially from my childhood. It's directed by Jim Henson and Frank Oz. Now, as a lot of you may not know, especially Jim Henson is all in the puppets. He did the Muppet Show, stuff like that. I mean, it's great. What you may not know is that Dark Crystal is, from my personal standpoint, one of Jim Henson's best productions. And yes, your kids are going to be kind of bored because there's no CG or anything like that. It's actually all puppets or, you know, just people in actual costume. It's, you know, it's nothing really big and exciting like there is nowadays, but it's still a great story. You have the Skeksis, you have the Mystics. The Skeksis are evil, Mystics are good, kind of like yin and yang. You have Jen, who is voiced by Jim Henson, and you have Kira, which is voiced by Catherine Mullen. Now, and I would go through some of the other characters and everything like that, but needless to say, Frank Oz and Jim Henson do a lot of the voices. So, Google it. But, it's about Jen. There's this prophecy that... How to go into this? Back in the day, there was this big crystal, and it cracked, and it turned black, which is hence the name Dark Crystal. Now, there's a prophecy that says that Jen, who is a Gelfling, will heal the crystal and all world will end, whatever. So it starts off there. Jen goes on his journey to find the shard that's missing from the crystal and to go save the day, everything like that. Long story short, he gets to the castle of Skeksis and all's right with the world after that. Look for it yourself. It's a great, great movie. So, because I haven't actually gone to the theater, and I just basically did Netflix. If you're not a Netflix subscriber, I'm sorry. Subscribe to it. Like I said, Netflix is producing so many things right now. They are putting forth so much money. So it's always a good investment. So what I'm going to do today is actually review something else. And this is where the more, this is where the more comes into play. What I'm going to do today is actually review another YouTube channel. Now, the YouTube channel that I'm reviewing today is called Keep Your Daydream, which is about a couple who is RVing. They are so far into season 5. I'm currently about halfway through season 3. I'm kind of playing catch up because I discovered them later. You have Mark and Trisha, otherwise known as Trish. You have Tori, who is their daughter. You have Carson and Caleb, who are their sons. Now, sometimes Caleb does get a hold of the camera and all hell breaks loose. But he is easily forgiven because he's a funny kid. Also, you should know that Tori does appear a lot in the videos, but as of season 5, she has graduated high school and has gone on to college. And yes, they do RV full-time and they do homeschool their children. So just keep that in mind. Season 5, she's graduated and hopefully she'll be back at some point, maybe during vacations or something like that, because one of my favorite things that they do is Mark and Tori's tips. So, without a Tori, you can't have Mark and Tori's tips. But it doesn't just stop there. The first season, they go all across country, everything like that. Season 2, they go into Mexico. Season 3, they're also going cross country, but some into Canada and everything like that. I don't know about season 4 because I haven't even watched it. I have watched some of the episodes from season 5, and they are currently on their way to Alaska. Now, I've said the negative things about how it ends, with the big flaw. I've also said, the no CG and everything about Dark Crystal. And so, what is negative about Keep Your Daydream? Now, honestly, I can't find anything wrong with Keep Your Daydream. They're funny, they're informative, and they go to places and they go out and they show you the town. They show you where good places are to eat. They show you good camping sites. It's just a very informative and funny YouTube channel. So, and also they've taken the YouTube to a completely different level. If they show something on their channel that someone may like, they put it on their Amazon page. Also, they have a Patreon page, which I've done research into other RVing, channels, and a lot of people are Patreons. And right now, they currently have 834, as of this recording, followers on Patreon. So that's a lot of money coming their way. Now, you ask me, hey, why have so many followers on Patreon? Why have a Patreon page in the first place? Well, it gives them a little bit of extra income other than YouTube. Because, honestly, you get onto an RV channel and you just want to see them sitting in an RV park not doing anything. No. You want to see them out in the town. You want to see them doing stuff. Well, the extra money from Patreon allows them to do just that. I guess from what I've noticed, I'm really scraping the bottom of the barrel to find anything wrong with Keep Your Daydream. I guess one of the things is, with the first season, they're showing every flat tire, they're showing every bump in the road. They still do that. They still have problems here and there. They don't show as many. Now, either A, they're not showing everything, or B, just after 5 seasons, they've gotten extremely better at RVing and they just don't have that many problems anymore. I prefer to think it's the latter. hopefully, because who wants to deal with a lot of pains and pressure while you're RVing full time? But it's just, you know, I like to see the nitty gritty of it. I not only want to see the good things, I want to see the bad things too. I want to see the flat tires, because me personally, the reason why I got into Keep Your Daydream is because I want to RV later. You know, after I retire, my kids are grown up and everything like that, and they're probably saying, well, why don't you just take them on the road now? Because currently I'm in a separation and I only get to see my kids twice a week. There it is. It's out there. But I want to wait until they're 18 or older and I can go out and I can just do my thing, and where they don't need dad around as much anymore. Now, with that being said, they are saying they want to come with me, which is great. That's near and dear to my heart, honestly. But by the time I'm able to do this, they're probably going to have careers, families of their own. Anyway, I've gone off topic. Sorry about that. But yeah, I like to see the nitty gritty. I like to see the struggle and everything like that. And they just don't show a lot of that. And probably because, like I said, they've just gotten their knack and they don't have as much anymore. Hopefully that's the case. Like I said, it's not really a fault in the channel. It's just something that me personally, like I said, I'm really, really searching for something bad to say about them. I guess another thing is that I emailed them twice. One was a question just about RVing in general and a few ideas of my own, and I never got a reply. The second time I emailed them, I had a question about, you know, just you know, something else, and I got a reply. So, like I said, I'm really searching because I did get a reply. So, I don't know. Great channel, great family. Watch it. Now, last minute, I guess, topic is that I am trying to create an intro into my videos. Now, just give me some time. I've never done it before, and yes, I'm going to have to look on YouTube to see videos on how to make an intro for your YouTube videos on YouTube. Don't think I haven't escaped the irony in that statement. But I do have a friend. He's made a guitar rip with some drums, everything like that. And I asked him because, you know, he plays in a band called Drowning Creek, and I was like, hey, can you make me a guitar rip? And he's already out with it and haven't even made the video. It's like, okay, you're making me look bad. But once I have it made, I'll go through all the information about him and his band and everything like that. Until then, the only thing I got to say is, if you're not going to be good at it.